Hello and welcome back to Let's Put the Camera Right in Neverwinter Nights 2. Now the camera's right. Yes, we're still at the inn and not much has happened. I did have to go to shopping to get like this little magic bag, which has like a lot of slots so I could throw in all the spell scrolls I got. That saves me some space. Probably if we need weights we can probably throw in things in there as well, but for now the getting rid of the spell scrolls is just enough for a bit. So let me see, I think we can go and head out and go and speak with Eldlon. Do we want to have Cassavir with us? I kind of want Elnie back for this one. She's been more involved in this whole matter than these bunch, so let's do it. And you know what, while I was shopping for magic, I realized we can talk with Sand in Sand's shop. I think that would be interesting, so let's do so before we head to Blacklack District. Hello there, Sand. You're injured. That's not good. What have you been doing?
Well met again. And what can I help you with?
Have you ever heard the term Kalakcha before?
Well, it's not elvish. Too harsh and guttural, but not as crude as orcish. The word sounds like a title, though, like betrayer. Perhaps a linguist would know more, but not I.
Surprised you are willing to admit your lack of knowledge. Some other questions.
Very well. What answers do you seek?
Could you make me a love potion? Oh, I guess this is something new from the mod. Would you resort to something so deceitful to gain another's affection? This is actually a good question for a priest of love like Denzon. Love is such a creature of chance, and sure you can give me something that would help me an advantage. Call it deceitful, maybe something would open their eyes, if you know what I mean. I guess you're right, love must come spontaneously. I'm glad to hear it. I'm not doing a terrible Sand voice, I'll have to practice
what
that one.
What answers do you seek?
Yes, do you know of someone named Blackgarius?
The name is familiar. I believe he was once a low-level wizard of the host tower of the Arcane, but to have him rise so high, so quickly... He must have gained a powerful patron indeed. He was cunning and had skill with the craft, but not enough to warrant this.
Did you ever have any dealings with the host tower of the Arcane?
The true rulers of Luskin? No. No more than any other wizard in these regions. To deal with the host tower is to invite death, either slow or quick.
I had other questions then.
Very well. What answers do you seek?
So more about this Blackgarius actually, so we'll skip through this thing.
The name is... He must have gained a powerful patron indeed. He was cunning and had skill with the craft,
Anything
but
we can
not
use
enough
against
to
him?
warrant. I did not know him well, but the mere fact he has risen to power so quickly cannot mean he has a stable power base. And it must mean he made many enemies. Such enemies may reveal themselves if we seek to stop him, and they will become our allies.
Cunning.
Very
right.
well. What answers do you seek?
So what do you do here?
This is my alchemical shop. I make potions, charms, place small wards and enchantments on items.
Why is your shop down here at the docks, actually?
The docks are a little more to my taste than the merchant quarter. People tend to be more, well, honest in their dealings, less political, as it were. And trust me, finding space for a shop in the merchant quarter can be difficult and expensive.
It wasn't like that for the Githyanki we all just killed, apparently. So, what questions?
Very well. What answers do you seek?
So I noticed that you have a painting on the wall there, Sand. My, you're observant, aren't you? Do I detect a family semblance? It's a portrait of my brother. Would you tell me something about your family? We have already established that I have a brother. I don't usually discuss personal matters with those I know so casually. Well, I have no objection to getting better acquainted. Regrettably, I must decline. I am expecting a delivery shortly. I must make room for it somewhere. Now, is there anything else that I could do for you? That was better, I think. More questions.
Very well. What answers do you seek?
So we've had that, we had the portrait. Would you like to go somewhere quiet for a drink, perhaps, Sand? At your uncle's tavern? No, thank you. Well, we don't have to go there. There must be other taverns in Neverwinter. Perhaps, but I prefer to mind the shop. Shudder to think what mischief some tieflings might cause if left unsupervised. Now, is there anything else I can do for you? Right, so other
Very
questions?
well. What answers do you seek?
I guess there's some flirt option with Sand. Nice. Do you know anything about the murder of Lord Dalron? Do you know about cars? Anything else? Yeah, no. Let's ask about Lord Dalron.
Well, I am not one to speak badly of the dead, but Dalrin most likely deserved whatever death he had coming, and deserves to be buried in the betrayer's graveyard. It was a
Wow.
wonder that he wasn't exiled during the war with Luskin for his questionable involvement with weapon shipments. But the matter was not brought to light. Yet somehow, Nasher ended up getting a deed to his lands, a tithe against future levies, and a full company of additional soldiers.
So, you think Dalron bribed Nasher to prevent him from getting arrested?
Times were difficult, and it was a necessary oversight on Nasher's part, but Dalrin never deserved to live past the war with Luskin.
So he may have been murdered justly?
I doubt any murder is truly just, but did he deserve to be tried and executed? Oh, yes.
Interesting. Alright. Never mind then, farewell. So that's some interesting feedback of Sand is giving there. Now with some insight into, well, at least Lord Dalron. Let's see if we can head to the Docks District. The Docks? We are at the Docks District. I'm a fool. Blacklack District and see what is going on there. What type of adventures await us? Because I doubt it'll be this easy just to have a little chat and find out. Oh yeah, this evil. These are the shards of the Doom Cannon of Marcifia. It shoots death lasers and it destroys the Forgotten Realms. Yes. Yeah, it's probably not that. But who knows? See a little jog in the early morning, I guess, given the lighting and the mist. Sounds healthy, refreshing, excellent. I really hope we get like stuff for. I guess Blacklack is not available this way. We have to walk there. Through the eel farm fell long ago. East in the north, along the northern edge, many adventurous people built. Yeah, whatever. These are all very interesting lore tidbits, but sadly don't have the time to read up on them too much. And we really need to get like a nice full plate for Calgar. We'll get our old one once we get the nice full one of adamantite. Hello, Watchman.
Sorry, no one's in or out of the Blacklack District without permission.
I have a pass from Captain Brelena.
Well now, apparently your good deeds down the docks were enough for her. Everything seems to be in order. We'll get this gate open for you straight away. Hey, you up there! We've got someone needing to go into Blacklack. They've got a pass from the captain. There you go.
One of the guards on your other side will escort you. Pass doesn't give you free reign to the district, just Adelson's home. Adelon's home. Ah, so that is unfortunate.
Alan set, right? Well, here you are. Don't expect too warm a welcome, though. He's been even more detached lately. I'll just wait here while you go talk with him. I'm sorry. Are you here with a delivery?
No, I'm with the City Watch and I'd like to ask you some questions.
What? Hey, what? Whatever you are here for, there's trouble someone is.
I need your help with an investigation.
Really? I'm always happy to help the watch. And information's something of a specialty of mine, you know. Quite a hobby. Let me just remove these wards and they'll be disarmed. I think. Come right on in.
Okay, well that's pretty friendly.
Well
cool
met,
ropes.
well met. Please forgive my rather rude questions at the door. I would never intentionally stand in the way of the City Watch. Well, unless there was nowhere else left to stand, really. But that wouldn't happen unless there was a flood. I must confess, normally I'm rather, reclusive. Not that I dislike people, mind you. Quite the contrary. But lately, with all the troubles, a murderer on the loose and young nobles sneaking around up to who knows what, I've had to place wards around my home.
Warding your home?
Ah, yes. Lately I've seen figures sneaking around in the dark. And not that well-meaning sort of sneaking either.
Yes,
it's obvious
so
what they
many
want.
well-meaning sneaking. What do they want?
Why, my house, of course. As if I would ever sell it. Ridiculous. I'd sooner give up my left eye. But my right annoys me at times, so that would be an easier sell.
Okay, he's a very curious gentleman. Alright, please go on.
In any event, back when I first settled in Neverwinter, my humble abode was on the outskirts of Blacklack, bordering acres of untouched wilderness. Now, with Neverwinter being rebuilt, following all that plague nonsense, my property went from the periphery to being right on the main thoroughfare of the rich part of Neverwinter. All the nobility wants to live in Blacklack, but there's no more room. So lately they've been trying various ways to convince me to sell my land.
Are you sure these figures you see here are nobles?
Of course. Who else would sneak around my home? Well, present company excluded. Oh, that's right. You came here for a reason, yes?
Yes, I've discovered several of these shards.
Great dear, what a tale. The moment you arrived, I knew I'd be interested in meeting you. Wish I'd known that when I first greeted you.
I hope I didn't
Would have
give too
saved
much
some
details.
time. You've certainly come to the right place. A while ago, I found another shard with properties similar to the ones you possess. I've done every possible test on the shard, but learned little. However, I've never had another shard to compare it against. If you'd like some answers, I'll gladly run some tests on your shards. I have just enough quicksilver to do it.
To quicksilver on silver shards. Oh, that's convenient. Where did you get your shard from?
Well, now, I'm sure it would make for a fascinating tale, except that I don't remember.
Uh-huh. You spend all your time studying them, and you can't remember.
I've had no reason to remember, but I suppose I should try now that you've asked me. Someone had to have given it to me, right? I remember a well-dressed man, perhaps nobility, though I'd never asked such a personal question.
Go on.
He gave me this shard, asked me to study it and report my findings. Now that I think about it, he's never returned for an answer. Not that I've had one to give him. And I never did catch his name, so I wouldn't be able to find him either. Irrelevant, since, like I said, I haven't been able to glean any useful information from my single shard. So it turns out the tale wasn't nearly as fascinating as I hoped. A pity. Back to my original question, then. Would you like me to run some tests on your shards?
Certainly, here you go.
Ah, thank you. I'll be right back with this.
Boom, transforms into Gif Yankee.
I knew this plan was to be successful. I'm Gift Yankee, I don't have a nose.
My tests are complete. With another shard to use as a comparison, well, I learned quite a bit. Quite a lot, actually. It appears these shards contain latent magical energy, either caused by a strong enchantment from when they were whole or from their method of destruction. Furthermore, the shards resonate when they are brought together, increasing their magical energy output accordingly. These shards are pieces of a broken Githyanki silver sword. Are you familiar with the Githyanki?
Too familiar. I'd be interested in hearing what you know about them.
The Githyanki are a race of beings that dwell on the astral plane, led by Vlaakith, the Lich Queen. Not a nice woman, I hear. Ages ago, the ancestors
Usually
of the
Lich
Githyanki
Queen's
were
not nice.
human and inhabited another plane of existence, where they were enslaved by the Illithids, or mind
Human-like,
flayers.
but yeah.
Then came Gith. Little is known about her outside the Githyanki, but she led the rebellion to free her people of the Illithids, and is considered the hero and founder of the Githyanki people. The Githyanki silver swords are forged with the special purpose of severing the silver cord that connects the form of an astrally projecting traveler to his or her material counterpart. They look like a regular Githyanki weapon until used in combat, at which point they turn into a column of flowing, shimmering liquid. Really quite amazing, I'm told. I believe the shards that you have found are pieces of one of these silver swords. I presume the Githyanki have come to Faerun to recover the shards.
Yeah, they're quite fanatical about that. Well, I fought Gif Yankee, but none of them had weapons with the properties you describe, even though they were very big swords.
Common Githyanki would not possess a silver sword. These swords are rare and highly prized. They are given by the Lich Queen to only the greatest of Githyanki knights. When one of their silver swords falls into the hands of a non-Githyanki, they will go to extraordinary lengths to recover it.
So this is probably all very stupid question. Do Githyanki often lose their silver sword?
Often enough that there is a special group of Githyanki, the Sword Stalkers, whose sole purpose is to seek out any of the missing silver swords and punish the thieves who took them.
Well, I can ask, but I think we already know the answer to this. Why would the Githyanki care about pieces of a broken sword?
I've never heard of one being broken before. It could be that the Githyanki are as interested in how it was broken as they are in reclaiming the pieces.
Is there anything more you can tell me about these shards?
I wish I knew more. Jero was the real expert. He actually possessed a silver sword.
Who is Jero?
Jero? Oh, he was a court wizard of Neverwinter decades ago. I met him a few times. He was a nice fellow, a little absent-minded, with a tendency to drift off the subject. Jero reminded me of my old mentor, Master Growler. Had the largest collection of noisy, exotic birds Made quite a racket, you know, chirping and squawking.
Not dogs. With a name like Master Growler, you'd think it would be dogs. You were saying?
What? Oh, in any case, Amanjero has been in a grave for many, many years. He passed away quietly, presumably of old age. When word of Amon's death reached me, it was from a messenger who had heard it in passing. The nobles who ruled Neverwinter at the time must have assumed I would simply know if another scholar passed away, for they had not mentioned it to me. It was almost an afterthought. I learned later that it was partly due to what Amon's family wanted, and what had been requested by the deceased, to enter life quietly and to leave it the same way. It is sad in this age when the passing of a humble scholar, an indistinct court wizard, barely warrants a footnote in history. It makes me wonder, will anyone remember me when I'm gone?
In some ways. I'm sure you will not be forgotten.
That's kind of you to say. But unlike Amanjero, I will not be survived by any family.
Would Amanjero's family have access to more of his research?
I suppose they would. But the Jero family was said to have moved far away from Neverwinter after the war, and Amanjero's passing. I have no idea where they might be now.
What can you tell me about the war?
Oh, those were dark, confusing times. So much death and chaos, all brought about by some self-proclaimed King of Shadows. We were told the King of Shadows was not a king at all, but rather a very powerful warlock and summoner of demons. He invaded Neverwinter decades ago with an army of demons. Neverwinter sent their forces to confront him. Both armies perished in the battle, and the King of Shadows was never heard from again. Some rumors suggest that he was defeated and imprisoned by a cabal of mages. Others say that he was dragged away to the abyss by his own demon servants. Whatever the King of Shadows' fate, I say good riddance.
Can you tell me anything more about this King of Shadow? It seems we keep hearing him brought up, and, well, apparently this Black Garrus is in league with him.
There is very little else for me to share with you. I certainly wasn't there, and what little history that has been recorded of those times remains vague and murky. However, if you wish, I would be happy to sit down and speculate with you about the King of Shadows. It would be a wonderfully entertaining exercise.
Anything more about the shards?
Certainly. Where was I? Oh yes, when I discovered this shard and suspected what it might be, I attempted to uncover Amanjero's research on the subject. Unfortunately, any information Amanjero had on the Githyanki was either lost to the grave, taken far away by his family, or locked within his haven.
Amanjero had a haven? Where?
It was a private retreat of some sort, where he went for solitude. I know it exists, but I don't know where. I suspect that the Neverwinter archives here in Blacklake would have its location. They typically keep noble family records in the secured archives. They don't allow just anyone to access them, though. I petitioned to be allowed to peruse the secured archives, but I was denied because, well, some silly misunderstanding regarding misplaced books that somehow ended up in my possession.
How high is your fee? It's library fees, right? And how do I gain access to the secure
Normally,
archives?
you would have to petition for access, which could take several weeks. However, ask the guards at the archives to speak directly with Archives Administrator Kotnik. He has been known to let me in, quietly on occasion.
Thank you for your help, then. I'll be going now.
Very well. Thank you for your visit, and for letting me chat with you. Quite enlightening, really. Oh, and before I forget, you may take my shard. I've no use for it any longer, and who knows, you may gather more. Do be careful, though. I plan to raise my wards again after you have left to keep out those young nobles skulking about. Hope we haven't talked too long. Otherwise, they may have gathered their courage and attempted to sneak in.
Yeah, I don't think it's nobles, honestly.
You were in there for a while. No worries, I found a stout branch and whittled the carving of for Harmony, my fiancée.
That's nice. Thank you for your patience. And can we go to the archives now?
The archives? Well, my orders were to take you straight to Eldons and back out again.
Look, it will only be a short side trip, and what's the harm?
I suppose it'll be alright, just a short trip after all. I'm not one for books though. I'll wait outside once we get there. Come with me.
Okay, so we're instantly teleported in here. There's nice music here now. Bloody Gif Yankee! There's more of them here! Well, I guess they don't want it. They are looking for that research as well now. That's not good. So, getting ready for this. I guess next time it's more Gif Yankees to face off against. Let's clear out the other room, see if there's more Gif Yankee. Yeah, there's more of them. Oop. So yeah, more noseless people. Thank you for summoning lightning through the roof there, Eleni. Sure that'll be good for the books. So next time, I guess it's more Gif Yankee fighting. At least this makes more sense than a weird warehouse little operation. Guess they moved it from there to here then. Oh, that makes sense. So till then, bye bye.